Hey, how's it going, everyone? So this is the weekly Filmmakers discussion. So it's an extension of the weekly challenge, and hopefully you could watch all the way and get to know the filmmakers and their process and what's in their mind. I think it's a great addition. I'm really excited. I love talking to filmmakers. So watch and participate in the weekly challenge. Wow, you're like a legend in this film challenge. You've done so many.
Yes, my daughter made one film, but she's my primary actor.
Yeah. She has a lot of charisma.
You tomorrow?
Oh, thanks. Yeah, she really enjoys the stage.
You could tell, and it's contagious. You know, when she's on the screen, it's just everyone loves it. Yeah, we met before. I think it was a long time ago for a workshop something.
That's right. It feels like ages ago, before the whole pandemic.
Oh no. I'm so lonely. Hopefully soon. I mean, we're getting the socials up and running. We're keeping it small.
Exactly.
We're keeping it small with people so people can feel comfortable, but people, they want to come out. They need to come out.
Absolutely. It's about time.
Yeah.
And I want to say, Vincent, though, a big thank you to you just for having this whole, filmmaker, I don't want to call it competition, but a chance just to, practice the craft and display the work. It's really appreciated. This is actually what gave me confidence to get back into filmmaking after probably close to 17 years.
Because I remember you saying you were in the industry before.
I was just getting into the industry. I'd taken some formal training and then started having kids and got busy.
Life gets in the way, but they're both blessings, right? Getting back into it later, and
that's true.
They're both blessings. I noticed some of your earlier videos, you were working with your kids a lot. They're pretty funny too. Are they patient?
They are. I'm very blessed. They're very supportive of mommy and my husband as well too. And I really could not do it without their support. So they're accustomed to me. My husband will put them to bed at night while I'm frantically trying to edit something.
Oh yeah. It seems like they want to be in front of the camera. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
They do. They enjoy it.
Who doesn't love attention, right? So this one, so you wrote this short one.
I did.
Was it based on real events?
No, actually, the theme was indecision.
Yeah.
So it just so happens my daughter actually took a summer course, an English grade 12 course, and I hardly saw her for 3 weeks. She was sequestered in her room, studying Hamlet and other, literature. And so that's where I got the idea, because she would walk around the house reading this book.
To be or not to be? That is the question.
So it was a bit of a comedy, playing on this whole idea of, should we still be studying Shakespeare? Should we not be doing it? As well as the whole theme of indecision.
And I think the moral, like I said, the moral of the story is books kill.
Books kill.
Yes, stay away from books.
That's right, kids. Forget education.
Forget education.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, no, it's true. Books, as you know, teach so much more than just literacy skills. It teaches patience and focus and commitment and perseverance and to visualize words. It's so much more to it. I'm recently getting back into reading after a long time, and
nice.
It's very rewarding because it teaches me a lot of life skills.
It's true. Another layer to the piece was the whole idea of the importance of being able to make a decision, as well as there's one philosopher, I think he was a Greek philosopher. He was an astronomer / philosopher. He was so focused on the stars, he walked into a well and fell. He fell into a well. And the whole idea is, it's good to, ponder different things, but at some point you've got to make a decision so you don't end up in a pit.
Very true. Very true. We're not doing the voting anymore. I don't know. It was kind of, I wasn't a big fan. It was just a way to use the group to engage people further after the films were done, because we want not just drop them in the thread, but do something else after. And I think this is a better idea for whoever's willing to be interviewed. I think we get to the films get a second life.
I agree. And it's nice to know the context of things. That makes all the difference, and just get into the head of the filmmaker.
So the vehicle in the end was like you were driving slowly, or was that green screened? Or
that was actually green screen.
Wow.
Well, the interior vehicle was green screen. Yeah. So I'm glad you asked. It means I did a okay job.
It looked good because you added a shake to it somehow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I tried to add an image in the rear view mirror as well, but it was green screen. It was also a bit new for me, the format as well. Normally I use a horizontal format, 16:9, but I thought, okay, let me try out. Everyone's talking about YouTube shorts, so I thought, okay, let me try this YouTube short and see what it's all about. So I tried using the vertical format.
I forgot the numbers, but the YouTube numbers are published every month, and they show how many people are watching from their phones or on their desktop or through their consoles or things like that. And a surprising large amount of people is through their phone, and that makes sense.
It's true.
And you're right, they're watching it like this. So we got to reinvent the ratio, what we could crop, what we could fit in it. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big fan, but everything new meets resistance. And if that is where it's going, then I'm on board, I just want to be part of it.
It's true. The thing is to be open to the new evolving genres that are out there. It's non-traditional, but it's still a medium that's also valid. Yeah,
that's true. I love it. Anyways, we're going to have another one in 2 days. We're going to start another one. I don't know what the theme is. I don't know. I'll think of something engaging. Do you have any suggestions?
Oh,
something you'd like to see? Something.
I just had a mental blank, so maybe mental blanks. I don't know.
Not like a writer's block, but
writer's block. Exactly.
You think writer's block? I think that's a good idea. Okay, writer's block. Writer's block. That's gonna
be fun. To whatever people choose. They're all great themes.
Oh yeah. Writer's block. No, that's a good thing because we don't do the voting anymore. So I have to come up with something. But it's easy to come up with stuff, but I want to involve other people as well. But I like writer's block because I think a lot of the writers will be intrigued by this idea.
Exactly.
Wow. So grateful. Anyways, thank you so much, and say hi to Precious for me. She's like, who's this? Vincent Valentino? Is that the guy who makes the weird emo films where he's always looking like this, really sad?
The very deep films. Actually, we watch them occasionally as a family, and we analyze them. It's
nice.
It's fun.
Thank you. Oh, that means so much to me because I mean that's my art. My art is deep, profound, tragic, but it's not my life. I don't bring this into my life. I'm the happiest person you'll ever meet, but I don't shy away from these feelings, as you know. I channel them through my grief, through my art, and it's liberating because anyone who knows me is like, this guy won't stop laughing. What is he's repressing something? Like, no, it's because I have this outlet that I'm not repressing.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Vincent. Nice chatting with you.
Hopefully you both do one next week. She does one and you do one.
You know what? That's a great idea. I'll mention it to her.
Writer's block. It's going to happen. That's the theme. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll
thank you, Vincent. Thanks. Bye.
Well, welcome to Ottawa. And I live on Bank Street.
Right on. Okay.
Where the government buildings are, and everyone hates you. So it's great. Everyone's a curmudgeon. Hey, I really like your video, man. That was really funny.
Oh, thank you. It was I was looking for a film group to join when moving here, and the Ottawa one obviously stood out. And thanks for doing that weekly challenge. So I've been sort of like watching the other movies, since joining the group, and I thought like I wish I could do something like that one time, but I just don't have any time. But when this one came up, I thought like, okay, I'm finally going to make an effort to try that. I haven't really done anything creative in a while, and so.
Because you're a filmmaker and an actor, apparently.
No, I wouldn't say I'm an actor.
Well, you're pretty funny.
One of you is going to have to die. What? You've got to be shitting me. But I'm too young to die. You don't decide.
That was pretty convincing. Was it fun being in front of the camera?
No, it wasn't. No, I prefer being behind the camera, and I felt like it took twice as long. trying to set up the shots because, you know, I had to sit down and do something for a second and go check it out.
Oh, I know. Welcome to my world. I mean, I like working with actors, but I also like being in my own artsy fartsy emo stuff. I like the title, but I'm trying to remember the title here. Can you pronounce it? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was indecisionalizationism.
I love that.
So I used to work in publishing 15 years ago or 10 years ago. I don't remember. I don't know. So seeing sometimes all these suffixes, is that the right word? Suffixes at the end? Yeah.
We're making stuff here, man.
Yeah, I just thought like, okay, I'm just going to, you know, I thought of this word, like I'll just combine a whole bunch of suffixes because, you know, sometimes I worked with people who would just throw out meaningless buzzwords that didn't mean anything. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to try to come up with a buzzword.
I love it. And it goes with the title. And that's the thing. That's the thing is that you got to own these words when you say them. Like at work, you know, people that, you know, grammar Nazis or spell Nazis, they try to make you feel bad about yourself. So I devised the strategy at work to just make up words one time. And let's say hyperventilismanism, right? And you just own it. And then the thing
roll
is, they say,
roll with it, right?
Yeah, you just roll with it. And the thing is, you have to make them insecure about themselves, uncertain about themselves by saying, "Oh, you've never heard of that word. Oh, that's odd. How old are you again? Oh, yeah. That's odd." And then they're like, okay, well, maybe it's a word.
If you make them doubt themselves, you make them question their own beliefs and their memories and what they know about the English language, then you sort of won.
No, but I love the title. It's perfect. What was the backdrop? I mean, was it in your living room?
Yeah, literally just in my living room. You know, there's nothing special there. I just tried to darken the room as much as I could, and I hung a light overhead, you know, to sort of draw the focus inwards.
Well, you were working with multiple selves of yourself, but you seem to have the timing just right.
Yeah, how about on the count of 3 we see who grabs the gun? Son of a bitch. How about on the count of 3 I kill both of you? Well, I like my odds better when you were going to kill him. You were going to kill me?
Were you playing something back so you knew the timing?
Yeah, so what I did is I recorded so I wrote a script very quickly, and then I recorded it on just on my computer and edited it into 2 files so I could play it back on my phone. And one was characters 1 and 2, and the other was characters 1 and 3. So I'd play this audio file back and kind of react to it. Or you know, say my lines for the character that was sort of muted out in a particular clip. But it was really difficult to do because that's when I realized I have to like memorize these lines. I'm not an actor. I haven't really done that before, so that took a lot of. I had to do a number of takes, which was frustrating. And I actually had to do it over 2 nights because I tried to do it all in one night, but I was shooting it till like 2 o'clock in the morning, and my wife started to wake up. My son started to wake up because I was like kind of yelling. So I thought, okay, I better.
Daddy's talking to himself again.
Yeah, exactly.
But was it fun acting? Come on, it must have been fun.
I don't know. It's never really been my thing. I like sort of looking at other people act and perform, and I don't know. It's okay. I think I might have like a limited range of what I could do, and I think playing a jerk is maybe something I do well. But
everyone in my universe is a dirtbag. You're from your universe, right?
But yeah, I really like the themes in yours. I don't know if it was intentional, or did you, like when you said this is my universe and you don't belong here? I mean, for me, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm going a layer too deep because I'm artsy fartsy, but it's because like we're self-aware. We got the ego and all that stuff, and we perceive that we have control over this cause and effect. So I guess we feel like the universe revolves around us. I don't know. For me, it enacted a lot of profound themes that I think were unintentional because I'm a weirdo. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was trying to portray at least 1 or 2 of the characters with a very strong ego. But I think there is definitely a sense of entitlement in at least one of those characters. And I mean, there would be. I tried to imagine, like, if there were actually 2 duplicates of me, like, I wouldn't want them around.
Who owns the self at that point, right?
Yeah, that's right. And like, what are they doing when I'm not around?
That will fix the chaotic corruption of my universe. There you go again with my universe. My. It is my universe, jerk, and I know it's my universe because number 1, I was here first. Now, I'm no physicist, But I'm pretty sure the universe isn't too comfortable with alternate versions of us occupying the same space and time.
I think the challenge is a really cool thing. I haven't seen anything like that in any of the other film groups, at least on Facebook, that I've been part of. I think it's a really cool idea. I think it definitely spurs the members of the group to be more active.
Oh, I hope so.
You know, and hopefully, you know, it's not something where they, you know, people feel like they're competing with one another, but just more contributing to you know, to getting to know each other, to showing off their craft and their talents, and then, you know, something positive will come out of that, some good, you know, relationships.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. I mean, it's.
I've only done one film that's been in a festival, and it was a great experience. It was a feature film I shot a number of years ago. That my wife and I self-funded, but I thought it was the time of my life. I guess I wrote it when I turned 30.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, like I need to start doing something creative with this sort of dream of mine of wanting to be a filmmaker. If I don't do something, I may never get that chance to do it in the future. Or, I mean, I don't think there's ever, you know, too late to do art. But I guess for me at the time, I was just under a lot of stress. You know, we just become new parents as well. And so it just felt like the world was getting a bit sort of smaller. I don't know how to explain that, but yeah. But anyway, but I mean, you know, groups like this and challenges like this show me that it doesn't matter how old you are or where you live or, you know, what your experience level is. As long as you're doing something to be creative, then, you know, I don't know. It's just good. I think it's a good step for everyone to be moving in.
No, I love those words. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Bye.
Okay, you too. Take care.
It's weird when I go like this really fast because of the delay. It looks like I have violence.
It's the little things in life.
Wow.
I've been in Ottawa for most of my life, and then of course I move across country and can't find quite the same type of community. So
what?
Which is weird because I'm so close to Vancouver, you'd think, but just I haven't resonated with anybody or any kind of community that's quite as awesome as you guys.
Yes, right. I love your film.
Oh, thanks.
Wow, I love your film. Wow.
What if? It's a choice that could affect how the rest of your life plays out. Let the cards tell you. But only you can decide if you listen.
But I was caught off guard. I wasn't prepared for it. I mean, I've always liked your stuff. You know that. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. There's some profound, substantial themes. But this one, it just, wow. It resonated with me. I think it was very strong.
Thank you. You know what? It's so funny because I've heard a few people tell me like, wow, this is amazing. Blah, blah. And I'm like, really? Like this, I'm not going to lie. This is like my least favorite one that I've done.
That's how it works sometimes. I know.
Really?
I know.
Okay, you know, like but that's good for me to hear too, in terms of adapting my creative skills. Like, oh, this is what people are interested in. Okay, and then being able to adapt to or honing in on that type of creative level, I suppose, or maybe it's a certain aspect of the clipping together the images or the video, or maybe it's the audio and the narrative, you know, things like that draw people to it.
I mean, I have the same thing. Exactly. My least favorites people like, and the ones that I'm most proud of, I'm like, listen, pay attention. This is a lot. And they're like, yeah.
I like the serious, super dramatic, or the things that really make you think, the things that nobody wants to talk about, something even inspirational without it getting too woohoo almost, because sometimes you're like, okay, that's nice. We've heard it 100 times, but things like talking about, you know, losing, you know, losing a child, like miscarriages and male abuse. That one was my favorite to date. And I've had a number of men tell me how much it really meant to them to have that visually portrayed, because you see it the other way around, but never so much, like you don't really see it with male domestic abuse, right? And it happens. So stuff like that I really like touching on.
Do you regret the path you've chosen? What about the job you really want to leave? Start your own business? whether to have kids or not, places you've dreamed to travel, and not to mention social pressures.
You do a lot of tragic themes as well. Do you find that sometimes your friends or people might misinterpret it, thinking this is a cry for help instead of your art?
Not the ones who know me well enough, because even when I was in high school, I was the emo, like I did like super dark, cringy music and like super emo themed things. And I mean, of course, that was a time where emo was a thing. And I guess that kind of just came along with me over the years. You know, no, not really. Thankfully, I don't have anybody who, because I'm a happy personality and stuff like that, and I never really kind of draw for that kind of attention. So
I don't know if you know, but what is the symbolism of the blood? I say if you know, because I do stuff I have no idea what it means.
I was worried you'd ask me this question.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because it makes sense on an emotional level. We don't have to analyze it.
Like, yeah, ultimately I didn't want to overthink it. I'm like, I want some like cool visuals. Like first off, I got the black dress that I got and that I was wearing. I got that for a client wardrobe because I'm also a photographer, and I was just super pumped to wear it. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this. The blood, which is actually paint, funny enough, just kind of couldn't put it into words exactly, if that makes sense. It just I had that gut feeling. I'm like, you know what, I need that, like, you know, on the face, and then you kind of like the two-face thing, like you know, that's kind of, I guess, the best way I could describe that is just
true artist. I mean, you're telling me you can't put it into words?
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're so much alike. That's, oh man, please make more films. Don't stop, go.
We strive to ensure we've made the right decision, or regret when we know we've made the wrong one.
Wow, there were so many themes in there, so many layers. The choice, the insecurity about making a choice. Yeah, it was some of it personal, some of it that you went through that you can understand profoundly, or?
I think it's kind of more homage to a number of life lessons or just things that I've learned and accumulated over time. And I'm learning now that I guess that writing my scripts at midnight are probably the best way to go. Wow. I was in bed. I was like, I gotta write this down. I'm like pulling out my phone. I'm like, you know, typing things in. That just kind of came to me, and it just felt natural. And I like being able to kind of I'm not poetic, but I like to kind of express myself in a poetic way, if that makes sense at all. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I know, the incessant worrying about choices. I mean, I'm recently at that point in my life where I was complacent for the longest time. I was numb. I didn't care. There was no consequence. I had nothing to lose. I didn't care. And now I'm trying to stay aware of the choices and be aware of them. And with that comes the added, what if I make the wrong choice? What if I make the good choice? I mean, you don't know the negative outcome, so at least there's comfort. It's not like you're seeing the choice you didn't make and it turned out better and you're like, no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's comfort in not knowing.
But if we go through this spiral of wondering what our life could have been, we are missing out on what our life is.
That's what I got from me, and near the end is, we did the best with what we had, and nothing is truly wasted. You know, it's only that after we see the picture, we see the whole picture. Yeah. And to not be hard on yourself, because we had to go through that to become the person we are now.
Yeah, forgive yourself.
Forgiving yourself.
What if we forgave ourselves?
So it's really, really interesting to hear what other people are getting out of it on a more of an actual, more than, it was really deep, you know? Like, okay. So thank you. I really appreciate that. And support on all of these movies is really, really helpful.
No, please make more. And life is too short to not be artsy fartsy and emo. I talk to a lot of people. And, you know, they might not engage our films, like, and they make a little fun at it, and that's fine. But the thing is when you talk to them for long enough, there's an envy there. They're like, I wish I had the confidence to be that vulnerable and to show that side. And I'm like, well, you do, you do. So a lot of people behind the scenes are paying attention.
The cards can show you the path, but you control the narrative.
So keep doing it, please keep doing it. And I hope you make one next week. So I just figured out the theme. I was talking to Kofo and I said, what's a new theme? What do you think, Kofo? She's like, I don't know. I got a block right now. Writer's block.
Thank you so much.
Anyways, have a good night.
Thank you, you too. Take care.
Bye. So I've known you for what, about like 10, 12, 13 years now?
Oh, we're probably almost
more than that. Hey, COVID. No, don't die. I'll miss you, but I get over it. You're lagging big time. Shit. Okay.
I lag. I live out here in the country. That's gonna be the thumbnail now too. It's like,
yeah, we get bored of conversation. It's like in the olden days. I'm going under a bridge. I can't hear you now. I'm just talking.
I've known you for about 16 years now. I'm the one who dragged you kicking and screaming from photography into the video world, and now you have surpassed me by, leaps and bounds. But I do have a YouTube channel, so.
Yeah, and you're trying to get views on the channel as well.
The big issue is that if you want to grow your channel, you have to produce like a lot of content. It's like YouTube is designed to say it wants quality, but it also wants quantity. And I think that when you look at the scale is quantity over quality.
Yeah, that's right. YouTube wants to ensure quality content on a regular basis to its users. So I guess like Instagram and TikTok, they want to know that you'll be able to produce and deliver consistently.
That's the big thing. I see some people, they produce absolutely great content, but 10, 20 videos in, they stop.
Yeah, it could get discouraging. I was just looking at my pictures. I think I have something in my teeth. Hold on. No, it's pretty good. This particular video was very long.
It's an 18-minute tutorial. Yeah, that was a... Hi, everyone. In today's video, I wanted to show you how I used Luminar AI to enhance this astrophotography photo to create this final product. This might be a little bit crazy to go to this extreme. I do want to explain to you that for astrophotographers, you might be cringing right now, but for the general public, I did actually do a test of this image compared to the original. This one here was sort of like I'm basically using AI technology to improve my photos. At what point is it, you're looking at this whole tutorial saying, well, all I'm doing is pressing a couple buttons, moving a couple sliders. And for me, I'm looking at doing astrophotography right now. But that concept is sort of, that's the indecision. At which point are you editing probably a little too?
No, it's good. It's good. And I noticed because these info channels are only as good as their hosts sometimes. So you have a lot of charisma as a host. Do you like being in front of the camera?
I'm getting used to it. And now I'm going to smile.
Every time I watch your videos, it brings a smile to my face. Maybe because I know you, but I just think you're a good host and you lend your presence well to it.
Well, I am still trying to work a little bit more personality into my videos. I know that sometimes when I'm doing them, I'm like, and this is how we do this and this and this. And I'm almost sounding like that guy from Bueller's Day Off. The guy's going like, Bueller. Like, I know some of my earlier videos were really stiff. So I'm trying to put a little bit more personality into it and stuff. But again, a lot of that is practice. So it's a learn as you go with relatively little feedback, because people generally don't sit there and say, wow, this video is so much better than the last video. Puppies. Hush puppies.
That was quite brilliant. You said hush puppies, so.
2 puppies to stop barking. Hush! 1 second. I'm just going to run down there.
That's why I have a cat. I mean, the worst my cat does is just sit there and stare at me and judge me. It's like, Vince, what are you doing with your life? Listen, fruitcake, you don't know me. What do? You just lick yourself all day. God. All right, thanks so much, Graeme. We'll talk soon.
No problem. Bye, Vincent.
Okay, bye. So you've been doing this for a long time. Holy crap.
The full kit and caboodle, yeah, for over a year now.
But you've been a big participant, a regular participant in the weekly challenges.
Yeah.
I think you've done close to 34 films already because of this.
Really?
Yeah.
You're counting? I haven't counted.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's impressive. A lot of people haven't even done 34, and you've done 34 just with this alone, plus the ones you've done previously.
Before that, yeah. I love it. I'm learning so much.
I gotta wake up and face another day. Or just stay in bed.
I get it's me, myself, and I, and if I can convince or torture one of my children to help me out, then that's a good week. I'm lucky, but it's tough because it's not their thing necessarily. So, like this past week's film, some of the scenes that I had my son operating the camera, there's movement and I mean, it wasn't terrible enough to say whatever. It's, for me, a lot of it, it's the storyline. And it's a message to send to people, whether it's to make you laugh, make you cry, make you feel, make you think, whatever the case may be. I think it's just to stay creative and let your voice be heard, and don't be afraid to let your voice be heard.
Absolutely. We talked about it earlier, me and Jennifer Rapkins. She did an amazing film, and we talked about a lot of people might shame and ridicule you, but don't let go of that voice, because even though they're saying things, they might be thinking different things. They might be saying, wow, this person is brave and bold, and this person expresses themselves in a way I wish I could express myself.
You're really pretty. If you could just lose some weight or let the gray come through.
Personally, my deepest films, all my viewers and my closest friends and people watching outside of the film group are just like full of praise and compliment. And as you said, like, you're so brave, or what a powerful message. And that's the feedback I get. And however, I'm the one I find hesitating sometimes to put some of these stories out, because it is very true and near and dear to my own heart and my own experiences. So I don't want people to think, oh, she's looking for a pity party. You know what I mean? Like, so that sometimes I hesitate, and then I kind of shake that off and say no, because some people need to hear it. Somebody else out there is struggling as I'm struggling, and it's going to help them get through the day too.
Absolutely. So, I mean, the themes you address in your films are very relatable. A lot of people understand what is going on. Even though we don't talk about these themes, we live them and we understand them, and it connects people. I mean, in a lot of your films, you're very vulnerable. There are a lot of self-affirmations.
Yes.
And, where you do similar films where it talks about our insecurities and things like that, and it feels good. It's important. It's like therapy for me. I don't know about you.
No, it is. You're absolutely right. It is a therapeutic way of, I think if you're an artistic type person, to be creative and to, whether it's to do film or paint or create music or whatever, it's our outlet to release those emotions. Where, I have a house full of males who are very athletic. So for them, it's, go chuck a ball or go, slap a hockey stick, whatever. That's their emotional outlets for pent up stuff or just day-to-day coping of stuff. And I think it's important for each person, whoever they are, whatever they're involved in, to find that for themselves. So, but I think for us, because we can be creative, I think you're right. It will always help somebody else, because they'll be like, oh yeah, that's me. I've been through that, or somehow they connect and they relate to the story.
And a lot of the words are profound too. It's like you're bringing in poetry. It's multi-dimensional. It's got different elements to it. It's got thoughts and words, and it's a film. I love what you said in the midpoint. You said,
will my choices help me? Bring on new complications.
Will the choices I make help me, or bring on new complications?
Yeah, bring upon new complications. Yeah.
And the film doesn't really resolve itself. It doesn't really, it just ends like, well, I don't know, right?
Yeah.
And that's life. It's just.
Will the nightmares come again? I just need to stop thinking.
We don't know, you know, and in my younger years, I spent so much time planning my life. I had the fairy tale wedding and the children and the whole, like my whole life was planned out in my mind. And all of a sudden it's like, it throws you a curveball and now you have to readjust and learn strength and how to cope. And it just keeps happening. So it's like one thing after another. But you know what? You just got to brush it off and keep moving on.
That's it. What's the alternative? The alternative is to give up. But then you met Vincent, and it's been downhill ever since. So I'm thinking that
if it wasn't no. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing this today, and that is 100% truth.
Oh, thanks.
You are the all encouraging of the Ottawa Filmmakers group. New, old, young, doesn't matter.
Oh,
fresh,
stop it. Oh, keep going. Keep going.
Talking.
No.
And I love seeing new filmmakers coming in and even just joining part of this the weekly film challenge and bringing something new and fresh to the table. And it's just people letting go of their fears of, oh, it's gonna suck or I can't do it. And yeah, you know what? Some of the films do suck. Some of my films are like, what was I thinking? Or simply that I was learning something new with the editing stuff. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna try that out. And it's like, you look back on it and think, oh my God, that was so cheesy. That's so lame. Like my son tells me it's very cringy all the time.
Yeah.
So, but it's part of the learning process, and this is the platform to do it in.
Yeah, absolutely. I think on some level, filmmaking appeals to a lot of people because, I mean, either you're the writer, the poet, the storyteller, the photographer, you compose music, you like music videos. There's always an element in filmmaking that appeals to the creative nature in someone. Or acting, you're an actor, you know. I mean, it's amazing. I meet a lot of people, and I say, well, one of my hobbies is filmmaking, and I really like it. And they always share with me, I've always wanted to do that, either be a writer, a director, or an actor. Can you cast me in something?
Yeah.
Like a childhood, you know, passion. And I'm like, you can. Do you have a phone? Do you have like a computer or even just edit on your phone? Like
I've been doing, because all of my stuff since the end of basically since I guess when I started back again in around October, it's all been on my phone, minus maybe 2 that my son filmed and edited for me. So it's restricting. There's some things I can't do on my phone creatively that I'd like to do, but I want to participate. So I just have to be more creative. And sometimes I feel like, I don't want to be repetitive either. I want to mix it up a little bit. So it's trying to find those shots or those scenes or those different things that will make sense with the story that I want to tell and
what to make.
I know. I've been deep lately though. I need to get back some laughs. Go with the humor route.
They say comedy is tragedy plus timing. I don't know. The funniest people I find are also some of the saddest people.
True. I was just gonna say that. I was like, the ones who tell the best jokes or the comedy that's the funniest is the making fun of yourself.
Yeah.
For me, the fat lady joke or something, and it's like people are like, "Oh my God, you can't! That's so mean to yourself." But it's like, I've lived it. And there's a time you just have to laugh and go with it. Otherwise, it's going to take you down. So you have a choice.
Anyhow, I'm going to go because it's late. Okay. And old people, they get tired when they're late. I go to bed right after Matlock and Jeopardy. It's like...
You're so old. You probably snooze through them.
Yeah, I snooze through them. I'm so old, I hurt myself coughing or pooping.
Yeah.
I got to be careful. My back. Oh, it hurts. Anyways, thanks so much. Okay, we'll talk soon, and hopefully you come up with something for the next theme.
I'm thinking.
Bye. Talk soon.
Take care.
All right. So I'll be brief about my film. It's Drowning. So I was experimenting with my GoPro. I got a GoPro and it's waterproof. And I took it underwater and I even had a light, a small LED light, which I put in 2 Ziploc bags, which we didn't really use. But it's good to know that we can submerge an LED light. So I'm experimenting with more of that. Everything looks different in slow motion. Your eyes in real time cannot understand what things might look like 5 times or 10 times as slow. So to pre-visualize these things in slow motion, and it doesn't have to be an epic movement, like just the turning of a head in slow motion might unintentionally look epic. You don't know. So the GoPro does 10 times slow motion as opposed to regular mirrorless cameras that do 5 times, 120 frames. GoPro does 240 frames. This film, I had no narrative for it, really. I just wanted to experiment with the shots of me drowning in slow motion because I had a friend who drowned, who survived, and he told me it was the greatest struggle he's ever known in his life. Drowning is one of the worst deaths you can imagine, and he struggled so hard to stay alive. And everything happens in the moment. Everything happens, a million emotions collide, as well as thoughts. But he also shared with me that the greatest inner peace, the greatest release he's ever experienced was when he finally stopped fighting and gave up and accepted that he was going to die and sank. It lends itself to all sorts of aspects to our lives, I think. To understand the beauty is to also understand the struggle. Just experience it for yourself and find what it means to you. So thank you so much. And I hope you join us for the next weekly challenge, which is writer's block, which can mean essentially any type of block. It doesn't have to be writer's block, but participate. And after that, if you're willing, let's talk about it. This is your community. Engage, react, protect it. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye.